I'm Milada Psychic, and you're watching your Cancer New Moon astrological update. Thank you very much for joining me. Today, I want to share with you some alignment tips to help you get the most out of this Cancer New Moon activation that is available to all. So, the Cancer New Moon will be on July 15th, 2015 at 9:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time exact at 23 degrees of Cancer. And it will mostly impact anyone with a personal planet in Cancer, personal planets such as Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, and those with Cancer rising. It will also impact largely those with any personal planets in other cardinal signs such as Aries, Libra, or Capricorn, especially if your angles, such as the rising sign or the planet, is between 20 to 26 degrees. At the same time, everyone will be impacted depending on where in your natal chart, your birth chart, this new moon falls. So for Cancer rising, this new moon will bring an increased focus in your area of health and well-being, vitality, image, and style. For Capricorn, this may highlight increased focus and or sensitivities and sensibilities in the relationship sector of your chart. For Aries, this will bring increased focus on the home, family, and domestic life. And for Libra, it will activate the 10th house of career and publicity, or your public image, whatever it is that you are known for. Now, because the new moon always brings with it sort of this aura of newness, whether it is starting a new project, a new job, a new habit, either way, it is a good time to be setting your new intentions or resetting your intentions, your monthly intentions that are in alignment, hopefully, with your annual goals. So this, you can work with either the theme that's related with the sign that the new moon is in this case would be Cancer, and also the themes that are related with the house where your new moon falls, if you know that information. And just as a side note, you can calculate your your birth chart for free at astra.com. So with 4 planets in Cancer during this new moon, so in addition to Sun and Moon that are always in alignment during the new moon, we also have Mercury and Mars that just happen to be in Cancer in the exact alignment with each other at 14 degrees of Cancer. So in other words, the universe is really during this new moon offering us an abundance of energetic support and perhaps new awareness, new consciousness, if we so choose to tune into that, that is related to the themes that are suggested by the Cancer archetype. So in Cancer, the crab, we are, or that territory, we are discovering the language of emotion, what it means to feel, and what it means to feel it all and accept it all, allow it in anyway, and even when the feelings are not necessarily comfortable. So why? Why would we do that? Well, because when we're talking in these terms, they provide us, so the feelings provide us with a lot of information about our alignment, right? Our alignment with our soul, our alignment with our purpose, our alignment with our desires, whatever it is that we choose to be in alignment. And at the same time, how do we protect, right? We're talking about protection when we are speaking in Cancer terms. How do we protect, or do we need to protect our emotional sensibilities from letting in too much? Or is there even a such thing as letting in too much life, too much energy, right? Too many people, too many whatever that may be, that we are working on letting more in. So is there such a thing as too much forgiveness or too much acceptance? So these are all the themes that we explore in Cancer Classroom. And perhaps too much of any one-dimensional experience or perspective may not necessarily serve our highest good. So Cancer Moon, and especially Cancer New Moon, is about experiencing a feeling of deep familiarity, of connection with your inner nesting place of warmth and connection, your connection with Source, right? That sweet spot within where you feel connected with yourself, with your Source, with your deep home, with the home within. So when we are able to connect at that level, Cancer says, it becomes easier to bring that out and manifest that out in the world, in the physical. So it may bring these themes that I just mentioned to do with how do we find safety, how do we relate to safety, really what is safety to us, and also the absence of it. So it may activate either feeling safe or the absence of safety. It is also about experiencing emotional freedom or emotional release, if you will. It would be more of a release in Cancer from any umbilical attachments that you may have outgrown. So in the process of letting go of your outgrown, what we call safety cords or training wheels that no longer support your highest good for your necessary process of individuation. So we are in that process, we are hopefully remembering how to come back home to our soul central, to ourselves daily. So returning to that place within, wherever you spring forward from into the world after getting your strength and your energetic support, your alignment daily. So going out and taking action and then sharing your wisdom with the world again. So when we talk about the highest expression, for example, of any energy and how we relate to it, we also need to talk about the shadow aspect of Cancer in this particular case. So Cancer's shadow is about not just relating to safety and what that means or that deep connection within, but the Cancer shadow is about running to safety of the, what we may call like a mother-like familiarity and invisibility, right? Because whenever we are running back to something more too often, we are likely avoiding, we're in avoidance of being available to something in the visible, and which usually equals to some sort of day-to-day predictability, right? Because safety is connected with that sense of I need to know what to expect and I need to be able to predict what tomorrow brings. All right, so predictability and safety are in a sense related. So at the same time, Cancer is about those self-defense mechanisms that we put in place in order to feel safe. But if taken to the extreme that I just mentioned about, it may turn our life experience into boredom rituals of emotional numbness. So at the same time, with this particular Cancer new moon alignment, what appears to be also suggested to us is to look at how much personal responsibility we are taking for what we're feeling. And this would come from that Mercury, Mars, and Cancer in the exact opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So how much personal responsibility we're willing to take and how much personal responsibility we're taking for our emotions, right, for our well-being, for our safety even, or our relationship with that, and how much personal responsibility we're taking for how we're nurturing ourselves. So that if we are not feeling good, we realize that we have the power to change it by simply choosing a different thought. So with that said, here are some suggested powerful new moon actions or intentions that you could take to work with the energy of this new moon. So the number one thing that I would suggest is to reflect and journal on the following question. In Cancer, we are really becoming one with that energy of reflection and really what it means to reflect. So we want to take the time to do that. So reflect and journal on the question of how will my life and or business look like in 2015 if I allow more meaningful support in the next 30 days. Because every new moon cycle is every 30 days. So we're talking about the next 30 days until the next new moon in Leo. So how will my life and business look like in 2015, this year, if I allow in more meaningful or more expert, whatever that support level is you're looking for in the next 30 days? At the same time, I'm going to invite you to release any limiting beliefs that you may still have around safety. And so it may be just as simple as, for example, a belief, I am not safe enough to, and then just fill in the blanks. Whatever it is that you have been wanting to create or put out into the world or manifest and it just hasn't been happening, you've been stuck in your inaction, so you want to work with that I release that belief that I'm not safe creating what I most need in 2015, right? So whatever that may be for you. Also, you want to release the belief of I am not supported. Okay, so I'm not supported or I'm not supported in, whatever that may be for you. At the same time, instead, you want to really embrace the belief and the knowing. For example, I understand how it feels to feel safe. And I know how it feels to feel fully supported. So you may also want to create an inspiring vision board or perhaps just a list. If whether you work with affirmations or you're more visual or maybe you like checklists and lists. So if you're resonating with what I'm sharing and you feel there is some work for you to do around safety and support and allowing more of that in, then perhaps you may want to create a list of what would be your ideal inner circle or the elements of that inner circle or your support system that would include every element of what is it that you are looking for. It may include specific people or specific roles that they would play within that circle. And simply adopt what I call a belief that feels like a liberating truth. And you might want to do this on a daily basis, but especially we're reminded of this during every new moon and full moon because the energies just tend to be amplified and more highlighted during that time. So with all of that said, where do you start? It really doesn't matter. What matters is that between this new moon on July 15th, and the next new moon in Leo would be around mid-August, or even the next full moon, so the next 2 weeks, you choose to connect with your inner healer, which will be your inner Cancer, and also known as your inner nurturer, which is really the embodiment of the divine feminine. Nothing to do with the gender, right? This is just the type of energy that is more receptive and more to do with our intuition and creativity and beingness. And especially with the aspect of divine feminine that is to do with intuition, or your capacity to connect with your inner wisdom and your capacity to feel connected to home, wherever home may be for you, or whatever you are looking to connect more in that way. So your home, your soul, your source, and as I mentioned, your support system, your support circle. But also the aspect of divine feminine that helps us to cultivate the nurturance, that helps us to realize the truth around the divine definition of what nurturing really is, as opposed to parenting, for example, once we are a fully functioning adult. And I mean your relationship with the energy of parenting as the one receiving nurturing. So what nurturing is and what it's not. And also, very importantly, really to practice being more receptive. That is really what Cancer's gift is to us. To really allow being more receptive and allowing more in, number one, more feeling, right? And really using the emotion as your guidance. And to also learn how to receive more of all that serves you, from, once again, from your support circle, from your tribe, from your source, and really how to feel connected and supported within. Really, where can you be receiving more in your life today, now, this month? So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear from you about what you may have resonated, and if you would like to share a comment about what has resonated for you, I would greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to connecting with you very soon. You can find out more about me and my upcoming events and classes at miladapsychic.com. Many blessings of healing for this new moon to you. Namaste.